Listen to The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County by Mark Twain. Level A1, Oxford Reading University.
One day, I get a letter from my friend. He asks me to go to the town of Angel. He wants me to visit Mr. Simon Wheeler. I want to know more about the man called Mr. Leonidas W. Smiley, my friend writes in his letter. I believe that Mr. Simon Wheeler can give you some information about this man. I find Simon Wheeler drinking in a small cafe. He is a big man with a kind face. Will you tell me about Mr. Leonidas W. Smiley? I ask him. His face turns serious. We sit together at a table and I listen to his story. To me, it seems the most boring story ever. But Mr. Wheeler doesn't look bored, sad, or happy. His serious face shows no emotion. To him, there is nothing funny or strange about the story or its characters. This is what he tells me. A man named Jim Smiley once came to the town of Angel. He had a strange hobby. He liked making a bet on anything he saw. He asked everyone to bet money on a horse race, or a dog fight, or a cat fight, or even a chicken fight. And luck was almost always on his side. Usually, he won the bets. One day, Smiley talked to a man. The man's wife was very sick. She is going to get well soon, the man told Smiley. And I bet $2 that she will soon die, he said without thinking. Jim Smiley had a horse. It was very old and slow, but it came first in every horse race. So Smiley always won all the money. In the end, his horse always turned out the strongest and the fastest of all. Smiley also had a little dog named Andrew Jackson. It looked kind and funny. But when Smiley made a bet on a dog fight, Andrew turned into a dangerous, bloodthirsty animal. It threw itself at other dogs and bit them with its sharp teeth. It liked biting other dogs' hind legs the most. It could catch hold of a hind leg and hang on until the dog was dead. This dog got Smiley a lot of money. But one day, it fought with a dog that didn't have hind legs, so Andrew had nothing to catch and bite. Before the other dog jumped on Andrew and killed it, it gave Smiley a sad look. Smiley had cats, chickens, and animals of all kinds. He was ready to make a bet on anything a person could imagine. Once, he got himself a frog. I will teach it to jump high, Smiley decided. He spent the next 3 months in his garden training Daniel Webster. That was the frog's name. Smiley also taught it to catch flies, and the frog's skills were really good. Frogs are no less smart than college students, Smiley said many times, and everyone believed him. He bet and won a lot of money on frog races. Soon, Daniel became very popular. People traveled to Angel from other cities just to take a look at it. Smiley started taking his frog into town to bet more money on it. He carried the frog in a small box. One day, a stranger walked up to him and asked, What do you have in your box?" "A frog, sir," Smiley answered. "It is the best frog in Calaveras." "And what is so special about it?" the stranger asked. Then he took the box and gave Daniel a close look. "My frog jumps faster than any other frog in the world," Smiley said. The man looked at Daniel again and turned away. "It is just a frog, nothing more," he said. "Well, maybe," Smiley answered. "Do you know much about frogs, sir? I bet you $40 that Daniel will win in a race with any other frog in Angel. But I don't have a frog with me to check it," the man said. Smiley got excited. "That shouldn't be a problem," he said quickly. "Will you hold my box for me? I shall go and get you a frog." When Smiley left, the man opened the box and took Daniel out. He opened the frog's mouth and put many bullets inside. Daniel became so heavy that it couldn't move. Soon, Smiley returned with another frog. "Let us put them on the ground behind this line. Then we will begin the race," Smiley said. "I will count. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go!" The men pushed their frogs a little from behind. The stranger's frog moved and jumped quickly forward. Daniel stood still in its place. "Why isn't Daniel moving?" Smiley thought in surprise. He was very sad to lose his bet. He didn't want to say goodbye to $40. The stranger turned to Smiley and said, "So your frog is really no better than any other?" Smiley looked down at Daniel. "Doesn't it look too big?" he thought to himself. He picked the frog up from the ground. "Good Lord, I bet there are no less than 5 pounds in it," Smiley thought. He turned the frog upside down. All the metal bullets fell to the ground. Angry as he was, Smiley ran after the stranger, but there was no sign of him. He left the town. Somebody calls for Simon Wheeler and he stands up. He turns to me and says, "I will be back soon and tell you the rest of the story. But I am not quite sure that I want to listen to another strange story about Jim Smiley. It will not help me learn anything about Mr. Leonidas W. Smiley." I stand up to leave. At the door, I see Mr. Wheeler again. "Where are you going?" he asks and pulls me by the arm. "I will now tell you the story of Jim Smiley's red cow. It had one eye and no tail." "Enough of your Smiley," I cry and say goodbye to the old man. Now, I have a feeling that Mr. Leonidas W. Smiley isn't real. Maybe my friend just wanted to play a joke on me. He sent me to this place so that I listened to some strange stories. But now I will leave and never come here again.
It's hard to read books in English when there are so many unknown words. What if you could click the word and see the translation and the transcription? Then reading English books will become easy and fun. You can do it in the Ava app. You can check the meaning of the words in your native language. Check out ava.com now. Send this video to your friends who like free audiobooks. And now, listen to another English story.